My name is Jim Shamoon. I am the managing director of Blue Sky Films in Nairobi, Kenya. It is probably the biggest film company in the Great Lakes region in East Africa. And we do a lot of service work for the whole region, from Sudan down to Zambia, to Rwanda, Burundi, Zaire, Uganda. The whole region basically is covered by us. And as a result, we get involved with some very large Hollywood productions, European productions. We do a lot of work for German companies and all of Europe, basically. It's a comedy. Very few African comedies out there. And it's a very funny story of a guy who, you know what happens in Africa is that when it's a big national day, and in this book it's the president's birthday, he lets all the prisoners out of jail. Okay, so they get forgiven. Okay. So he goes out and he starts immediately getting into trouble. Then there's a lot of misunderstandings. And then suddenly he's the captain of NAKARA. Okay. There is some very good comedy in Kenya right now. There is a very good stand-up show that is running on TV. There are some other comedies which are not so sophisticated, perhaps. This one we are hoping that is going to raise the level of film, not only in Kenya, but generally on the continent. Africa is a very poor continent. Kenya is a very poor country, and it's the richest country in the neighborhood, but it's still a very poor country. Now, the problem with that is that people do not have the €5 or €10 to go into the cinema to watch a film like this. So for the Kenyan market, it has to be much, much, much cheaper for them to appreciate it. But for film to become an industry, a viable industry, we have to produce films that people in the West are willing to pay money to go and see. It's a very difficult situation at the moment because the pool of skilled filmmakers is still very, very small. When Kenyan films go to film in neighboring countries, we go filming in Tanzania a lot. We've just finished in Ethiopia, Rwanda. We have to take everything from Kenya. Silent generators, lights, grip equipment, even the transport in a lot of situations. Sometimes even somebody to come and cater, to supply food to the crew. Yeah? Everything comes from Kenya. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, there was less than 20 registered film companies in Kenya. Today, there is more than 200. Yeah? And a lot of these are coming out of the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. There are small private video colleges and so on. The new film policy that Kenya is now going to adopt calls for the change of the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication for a full conversion to become a film school. And you know, the government of Kenya has decided very much so that it is very important to promote film.